It's time for NRCS Partyline today for your Tuesday, August the 24th, 2021. NRCS Partyline brought to you by Wimmer Opticians St. Cloud, Chiropractic Connection of St. Joseph. My name is Brad Melke. The sun is out. The rain has stopped for the moment, and our temperature of 63 degrees currently. Dew point at 61. Yeah, that means it's muggy, but the high temp should reach today. Oh boy, I can't tell because my computer won't move for me, so I'm not sure what the high temp is supposed to be for today. Otherwise, it is 63 right now. Mine's Brad Melke. In studio, we have from the Soil and Water Conservation District, Administrator Dennis Fuchs, and also from the Natural Resources Conservation Service, District Conservationist Chris Hogge. Chris and Dennis, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, Brad.
How are things in this late August for you two?
Busy. Yeah, the end of the fiscal year here for me, so I'm just wrapping up our year. Everything that was supposed to be done in 1 year needs to be finished. So that's what I'm working on. Really busy. But yes. Dennis has got some updates.
Yeah, so we got some rain this morning. Probably push us out of the D3 drought classification, maybe to D2. We'll see. We got more rain coming later this week, Thursday, Friday. So things are looking a little bit better there. Some of the crops, certainly this is going to be way too late for them. But for other crops, it's going to get us ready for next year. And also cover crops. Don't be afraid to visit with us if you're thinking about doing some cover crops with the earlier harvest. Be an excellent opportunity to explore putting some cover crops out in your fields. And we had one farmer that was able to take some forage off for the spring and then no-tilled soybeans into that field. And soybeans didn't do very well, but this guy got 80 bales of forage off of that field before he even had soybeans in. So that's something to keep in mind. You definitely need water for cover crops and the crop that follows. But there's opportunities out there with cover crops. And what I don't want to see out in Stearns County is people doing tillage early because you've got time. We need to keep these fields covered, keep that soil in place. Well, this past spring and winter, we saw more wind erosion than what is necessary. And we don't need to be losing our topsoil like that. You work too hard to pay your bills and keep your farming operation up and running. Let's keep our soil health there and get some cover crops out there and minimize that tillage operations on your fields.
Yeah, and with the extra moisture out there, it does open up that door, and you don't have to really do a real complicated cover crop mix. I mean, you can, but it's not necessary. You can do something as simple as just a rye that would provide you any kind of forage and stuff in the spring, or even doing some oats. Oats will not basically freeze and die off over the winter, but it gives you something to cover it until snowfall.
What's the most cost effective? Is there such a thing?
It all depends on their management style and what they're looking for.
If they have livestock or not.
Livestock, no livestock. It can be, the one nice thing about cover crops is they can be kind of managed how it would work best for the operation. Mm-hmm. So if they have specific things that they're looking for, they can talk to staff and we can help them put together that seeding mix to meet their needs.
So I'm sure the listeners are probably thinking right now, gosh, I wish there was a field day or something I could learn more about this stuff. Well, by golly, we do have a field day next week, Wednesday, just south of Albany at the Ben Mergen Farm. And registration is required because the lunch is free. And we need a good head count. We're actually going to extend it 1 day up to today. So if you are thinking about doing a field day next week, Wednesday, it starts at 9:30 at the Ben Mergen Farm just south of Albany here. And it goes until 2:30. We got a fantastic lineup of presenters and farmers to talk about. We also got some, we're going to be showcasing some equipment in the afternoon. This is going to be a fun event. And lunch is free and provided, but you got to register. So I'm going to tell you right now, if you'd like to be there, please call our office this morning at 320-251-7800. Extension 3, and we'll get you RSVP'd so that we can ensure that you have lunch. So let me just quickly run through the schedule. And so 9:30 a.m. we'll have registration and refreshments. 10 o'clock to noon, we're going to have the morning presentations. We're going to talk about soil health and conservation innovation grant. This is going to be Anna Cates with the University of Minnesota Extension Service. And then we're going to talk about 4R certification. This is where industry is becoming much more involved with nutrient management and making sure that we're following the University of Minnesota recommendations. And we have Amy Roback-Bruce from Centrasota and Peter Mead from the Nature Conservancy talking about the 4R certification and how our ag retailers are helping us achieve our natural resource goals. And then we're going to have Chris Motorin from the University of Minnesota Extension Service Morse come and talk about 4Rs of manure management. Now with the early harvest, you're going to have the opportunity to put manure out earlier. Is that what you should be doing? She's going to talk about some of the proper things to do to maximize your utilization of those nutrients in your manure. And then we're going to have Leigh Fixon talk about data stewardship platforms. A lot of this information that is collected on the field, like with John Deere and these other platforms like TrueTerra, that information is going to feed your sustainability information, and hopefully in the future, as that information is gathered, you'll be getting paid for water quality benefits you're providing society, water storage benefits, and even carbon sequestration. So you're going to get to hear Leigh Fixon with the Nature Conservancy talk about that. At 12 p.m., it's my favorite time of the day. Well, second favorite time of the day. Happy hour would be my favorite time of the day. But lunch. I love lunch, and we're going to have lunch catered in. And it's going to be ham, turkey, beef sandwiches, and it's going to be awesome. And that's why we need you RSVP'd. I'm going to just remind everybody again. Here's the phone number, 320-251-7800, extension 3, and we will get you RSVP'd for lunch. And, okay, so you're going lunch. Okay, what's after lunch? I usually get a little sleepy after lunch. Don't worry, we got you covered, because it's not going to be me talking. We got a farmer panel. We've got 4 farmers that are going to talk about their operation and how they have incorporated some of these soil health principles, such as cover crops and reduced tillage, and how they're making it work and how they're making more money by reducing tillage and using cover crops. And then you're probably going, well, I'm kind of curious what this equipment looks like. It sure be nice if you guys would bring some stuff out there so we could look at. Well, bingo! We did that. We got equipment out there for you to look at. We are going to have a Bazooka low disturbance manure applicator. We also got the John Deere sensor, manure toolbar. The John Deere sensor actually can tell you the amount of nitrogen and phosphorus and potassium as you're going across the field applying manure. Wow. It is a magnificent tool, and you're going to learn more about that. Right? We got the Kuhn-Krause strip till with the Montag dry fertilizer applicator. We got a John Deere no-till drill. We got a Don strip till unit on a John Deere toolbar with a Montag dry fertilizer setup. We got a soil wear strip till unit out there, and then we're going to also examine a modified 3-point drill for interseeding cover crops into corn. And we got a lot of people already RSVP'd, including a couple county commissioners, a couple legislators. So if you want to talk to them about some drought assistance or pandemic assistance, there'd be a great opportunity there to discuss that with those folks. And also Chris Hogge is going to be there if you want to talk to him about any of the NRCS programs. The directions to the farm is from Albany. You take south. You head south on County Road 10. About 7 miles, and then take a left on 288th Street. So just head south on County Road 10, and we'll have a sign there where you got to turn. But it's toward Ben Mergen, and it's going to be easy to find. And we also have the directions on our website if you need to get there, which is www.stearnscountyswcd.net.
Do you have an address for Mergen's?
It's out in the field, so we don't. So take a look at the map. And
the day again?
It's going to be Wednesday, September 1st. That's next week already, people.
Holy cow,
and I know there's a couple folks that, they're starting to take corn silage now, and it's getting difficult to time when they can take a day off. When we did this planning early this spring, September 1st is typically after small grain harvest and before corn silage. But this year, because of the drought, everything's moved up a couple weeks. So hopefully you still can make it. And if you're just want to learn more, just come on out there. And we're gonna have a couple extra lunches out there. So just come on out and check it out.
Okay, so when we get back from our news and weather and markets, you have something else going on too you want to describe?
Yeah, I would really like to share that with the listeners.
You are wound up today.
Would you like any more coffee or anything, Dennis? Or,
No, I'm good, thanks.
You seem a little sleepy today. I don't know. It is 65 degrees. We've got sunshine. We have more from our guests. We've got Dennis Fuchs, and also Chris Hogge in studio with us.
Yeah,
We're
you
going to
could have
talk
said
more.
worse things.
Yeah, I could have. I'm glad I didn't. 9:30, it's news time. More Answers Partyline here on your Tuesday morning, visiting with Dennis Fuchs from the Soil and Water Conservation District, Chris Hogge from the Natural Resources Conservation Service. Another event coming up, Dennis.
Yes, we have a nitrate testing event coming up here on September 9th, and this is going to be over by St. Joe. This is going to be from 2 to 7 p.m., and this is going to be free. And nitrates are the most common contaminant in Minnesota's groundwater. Since you can't taste it or see it, many people are not aware of it if it's in their water. And much of the nitrate in our environment comes from decomposition of plants and animal waste. People also add nitrate to the environment in the form of fertilizers. Elevated nitrate levels in groundwater are often caused by runoff from barnyards or feedlots and excessive use of fertilizer, ag and residential, or septic systems. And rainfall and land management technique can contribute to the presence of nitrate in groundwater. As water moves through soil profile, it flushes out excess nutrients in the water table, especially nitrate. Nitrate moves with water. It's not attracted to soil particles because it's got the same charge. Opposites attract. Well, these are like-minded individuals, so they all move right through the soil profile. So too much nitrate in drinking water poses a risk to infants, especially under 6 months of age, pregnant women, and people with reduced stomach acidity. People with certain blood disorders may also be susceptible to nitrate-induced methemoglobinemia, blue baby syndrome. I'll just say that. That's a lot easier to say. I don't want anybody walking around, running across, hey, I heard you mention that M word on the radio, and you had trouble pronouncing it. And I'll say, yes, I did. That's why I say blue baby syndrome.
All right.
Basically, you are starving your body of oxygen. Some research has suggested that nitrate may also play a role in development of some cancers. To keep drinking water safe, you have your water tested annually for nitrate. Continue to properly manage nitrate sources near your well. Small things like routinely maintaining your septic system and applying fertilizer to your lawn when it is actively growing will help keep you and your family safe. The Minnesota Department of Health has reported that nitrate contamination of a well is often regarded as the first sign of deteriorating groundwater quality. And that's also the importance of annual nitrate testing. The actual clinic is going to be from 2 to 7 p.m., and that's going to be at the St. Joseph Town Hall, and I think everybody knows where that is. It's not anywhere near the Bad Habit Brewery. So water samples should be collected from a cold tap that has been left running for about 5 to 10 minutes, and then you need about 1 cup of water and put it in a clean container. And collect the sample no sooner than 24 hours before the test, and keep the water cool until it is tested. And if your house uses a water treatment system other than a softener, it is recommended to take a sample before and after to determine if your system is working properly. So that'd be like a reverse osmosis system or distillation type of system. And then also label your sample accordingly, before treatment and after treatment. There will also be an opportunity to have additional tests run on your water, and that usually costs about $90 for the additional test, and we're going to be reducing that cost through a grant down to $40. So if you have some problems or concerns with your water, we can check for nitrates for free, but then you also can check for more contaminants such as arsenic, and we are going to be looking at providing some value added there, reducing the cost of that test from $90 down to $40. So if you're interested in that, don't be afraid to visit our website or give us a call at the office, 320-251-7800, extension 3, and we'll get more information to you. So once again, that's going to be September 9th from 2 to 7 p.m. That's a Thursday, September 9th. All right. Well, there's a lot of talk, a lot of events going on, and we need people. We need people to help us get these events carried out. And visiting with Chris on the way out to Albany this morning from the Wade Park field office. We're still struggling to fill these NRCS positions at Wade Park, and we really got a lot of work to do, putting on these events and working with farmers and helping farmers with cover crops and doing other conservation planning on their farms takes people. And we need good people at the Wade Park office because that's who's currently working there. We got a great team, and we want to build on that. So, Chris, you want to talk a little bit again about these openings and what people need to do to apply?
Yeah, we have a few openings in the Wade Park customer service team, and I do run 6 counties and 4 field offices, which includes Stearns. And we have some openings for soil conservationists, and they need to have a certain degree. They have to have a 4-year degree with soils and plants as part of that degree. If you have any kind of farm background and you went to college or the university and received classes for agronomy or forestry, those kind of classes, you probably have enough to meet the recommendations for or the requirements for the positions. So we are looking for those kind of folks. So particularly speaking to folks who might be summer interns who graduated last year and are spending this summer doing basically intern work and looking for a job once the summer ends. They are going to be open or opening soon. So where you can find these positions is go to usajobs.gov or Google USA Jobs, and you will find them listed under the Department of Agriculture and NRCS. And that way, basically what you'll be looking for is a soil conservationist or a soil conservationist or a soil con tech. And those positions would be listed as a GS 579 or a GS 57. And they would be probably listed now as just as regular soil cons, but after January, we may get a direct hire opportunity, and then they would be listed as soil cons, and then there would be parentheses at the back with direct hire. But we had a direct hire opportunity this last in 2021. Mm-hmm. And like I said, it's the end of the fiscal year, so everybody's winding everything down so we can start it all back October 1st. So we've basically made offers for everybody that applied for or we chose for 2021 direct hire opportunity, but still we did not fill positions in some of the areas. So they're looking to possibly open it up in 2022 and get the direct authority to do so. And once they do that, then they would be looking for people who have that direct background. So,
Chris, I just did a quick check on the opm.gov. That's where they got the salaries. You know, when you say GS 5, 7, or 9, so a starting salary for a GS5 is about $38,000 a year, and that doesn't include benefits associated with NRCS, you know, like health insurance and all that stuff. A GS7 position is about $47,000 a year, and a GS9 is about $57,000 a year. So these are good positions, and NRCS has the opportunity to move up, like Chris is a GS11 or 12.
12.
And then also moving up to the state office or regional offices. So it's a tremendous place to work, and there's a lot of room there for growth.
Yep.
You know, so you start out, you know, with a college degree, fresh out of school, you know, at $38,000, you could be making close to $57,000 in a couple of years.
Correct. And the other nice thing about how the agency or getting a job with the Natural Resources Conservation Service is we also have the opportunity to move. So one of the things, once you get your first job, then if you are in, like, say, a GS 5-7 position and you would like to move to another state, you can apply for a GS 7-9 in that other state, and you can move right with the agency, and you can move all over the state, all over the country. And there's really nothing that will hold you back. I have worked in probably a dozen different offices in 2 states, and I basically move when I get bored. So it's a great opportunity for young kids and our young couples who both have ag backgrounds, because sometimes the agency will kind of keep you close, and you guys can, like, work in the same offices, or not in the same offices, but work in different counties. that are close. And so they kind of work with folks. The other opportunity that we have is Pathways internships. And those Pathways internships, those are specifically set up for college kids, usually on your junior year. You can also do it in your sophomore. When you do it in your senior, it's a little more crunch time because you have to meet certain hours and certain requirements to do Pathways. Mm-hmm. But if you can get into the Pathways program, that's basically a direct hire, or that's you basically get hired on without any kind of competitive application. You basically can just say, I would like to be a soil con, and they will put together a position for you. So you come right out of college with a GS. If you have a 4-year degree, you can come out of college with a GS7 or GS9 position right out. I mean, you walk out the door of college and walk right into a job with the agency.
So parents, if you're out there listening right now and the kids are already off to college and they're juniors, have them contact Chris at our office, 320-251-7800, extension 3, same number I've been saying all morning. Give them a call, talk to Chris. Chris will get them set up, and it's just an excellent opportunity to get that, that internship, that experience before you graduate from college is so huge.
And there is $1 there. They do pay for the internship over the summer, so it'd be a whole summer internship. And I do have an internship in Waite Park. I've had it there for the last 3 years. It is Waite Park is a training location for Pathways internships for college students. So if you have a student that's in college that's a sophomore or junior and they're interested in going into the NRCS or department, it's a great opportunity because they can live at home, they can make the money, and they don't have to worry about getting an apartment or anything like that. So it's a great thing to do and gives them a good experience. Like I said, Waite Park has just about everything that's going on in the state of Minnesota. We kind of lack on forestry, but we're working on that. But we have a lot of opportunity all the way from nutrient management to ag waste development, storage, and cover crops. We do just about everything in just about every program. So it'd be a great experience for them to just get their feet on the ground and see what the agency's like. And if they like it, they can walk out of college with a job. So okay. If anybody has questions, you can always, I think my email address is also on the Facebook page for Stearns County. Yep. But if you want, you can also Google the NRCS Stearns County and you can get my email address and you send me an email. But if you need it, it's Christopher.Hogge, and no one knows how to spell that. So it's HOGGE @USDA.gov. And anybody who has college students that are interested, please just send me an email and we'll get things rolling for them.
All right, Chris, you want to talk to the listeners a little bit about, give them an update on our CRP sign up. We've had a lot of interest, and we've had how many contracts? All of them that were offered were approved.
We had basically 37 applications submitted for general CRP, and all 37 of them were approved for about 610 acres. Is kind of the approximation that FSA provided, and that's really good. I wish we could have that kind of return when we have EQIP. You submit 37 and you get 37 done, but that isn't the way it works for EQIP sometimes. But it was 100% approval. So we're looking right now, Jason and Ryan and Logan are in the office. They're all working on developing those plans. So those folks who submitted applications may be contacted by staff just to follow up to make sure we got everything correct and get things planned and ready to go. And those signatures I believe the deadline is September 15th for final signatures, but we're gonna be on top of that. Like I said, we got 39 of them to do by that time, so it'll be a crunch time. The other thing we got is about 40 plus continuous CRPs, and those are, I know Jason and Ryan and Logan are all working on those right now, and I think they're halfway to 3/4 of the way through those. So again, those will be followed up with producers and getting signatures also. There's still a few more coming through, but we got some work ahead of us. But I think we got a good plan and a good system set up that we're really working through them. So we should be able to meet that deadline pretty easily. As far as EQIP goes, our Environmental Quality Incentive Program, We have pretty much wrapping up the end of the year, so we're putting some finalizing on some of those contracts. I think most of them have been obligated, not all, but most. And we've had some late pre-approvals, so we're kind of crunch time on those, but we're getting those done too. So we're really just kind of working on getting those done and looking to kind of fire up for 2022. So some things that folks might want to look at, especially during the drought, kind of see where your particular farm has shown, we'll call it resource concerns. You know, something like if you've got grazing livestock and your grass didn't last all year, maybe we can do something to assist that. If you have irrigation systems that are not working correctly or need upgrades or need different spigots or something like that, we can also assist with that. Again, it's a competitive program, but there is opportunity if you need to have those kind of upgrades. If you're looking to do maybe cover crops, not this year, because of course we're done, but for next year. You know, you experiment with it a little bit this year, find out it works, and you want to do it again next year, then, you know, talk to us and we can get something set up and work with you and see if we can get some funding for you to provide some assistance.
And the SWCD may have some funds available this year, so it pays to call our office to visit.
Yeah, and if I have always told producers, if you're looking to do something, you should always call the office and say, hey, you know what, I'm thinking I would like to try this. Is there something that we have available or you have available to provide some assistance? And usually we have something we can work with you. Again, it's a longer time frame than what a lot of producers have in mind, but it's always there if it's available or if we can make it available.
And one thing that we're also doing with interested farmers is doing the Minnesota Ag Water Quality Certification Program assessment as part of the conservation planning process. So that gives you a score between 0 and 10. And if you get 8.5 or higher, you can get certified. So we really identify areas where we can improve the protection to our natural resources and also sustain your farm income with these variety of practices that we encourage you to implement on your farm.
And we actually have some special funding for those folks who are Minnesota Ag Water Quality Certified or are trying to get Minnesota Ag Water Quality Certified. And that will be available also in 2022. And we have...
So there's actually two pools of funding for... Once they get certified, the state, Minnesota Department of Agriculture, provides a $5,000 incentive to do cover crops, improve grazing management, erosion control, a variety of conservation practices on your farm. And then what Chris was talking about was also the RCPP, the Regional Conservation Partnership Program for the Minnesota Ag Water Quality Certification Program. So there's a lot of acronyms out there, and the best thing is just to have us come out to your farm and take a look at what you got going on and what you'd like to see happen, and we will try to do the best we can to make it happen.
Correct. And really when it comes down to that is our staff in the office can help you. And we come up here on the radio and we just start talking and we do acronyms and the programs and all the, you know, and sometimes you can understand Dennis and sometimes you can't.
What?
But we're just here trying to give you guys ideas and information. When it comes to really getting the job done, you just need to really just talk with the staff in the office, because right now we have the ladies there, Tessa and Kelly for the soil and water, and Megan and Mark. They're all really there to do the planning and help the producer really work their way through what programs are going to work best in the situation or the time frames that the producer's looking at. I mean, we have a lot of different opportunities. Now, I've just covered EQIP. There's Conservation Stewardship Program, which is CSP, which is a 5-year program. There's irrigation, another RCPP for irrigation, and that's just specifically focused on irrigation. We have some for just beginning farmers, socially disadvantaged farmers. I mean, there's a lot of different fund pools that are available for producers to implement conservation on their farm, and our staff can help them basically work their way through which is best for them. So if you have anything that you're interested in, give the office a call and we can help you. Or I did give my email address out, and you can always send me an email, and I'll forward it to the appropriate staff so we can work through getting them the information they need.
All right, I just want to remind the listeners once again, we have our Soil Stewardship and Nutrient Management Field Day next week, Wednesday, September 1st from 9:30 to 2:30 p.m., just south of Albany. Take Highway County Road 10 south of Albany, and we'll have a sign set up to where you got to bend it to the appropriate spot where the field day is going to be at. And we got great topics to cover. We got a farmer panel, we got free lunch, and also equipment to demonstrate in the afternoon. And please RSVP by giving our office a call at 320-251-7800, extension 3. And please do that today, because the actual cutoff was yesterday, but I'm making an exception today for our KASM listeners to get registered this morning, and we will get that lunch out there. Right now, we've got about 100 people RSVP'd. It's going to be a great day to gather. There are going to be a lot of good farmers out there, some elected officials, and just an opportunity to visit with a lot of folks, what's working, what's not working, and get the facts to make sure that you're successful in trying some of these soil health practices on your farm.
Very good.
I got one more thing I should probably throw out there for folks who have livestock. Remember that right now there is an emergency haying and grazing on CRP that is available. You need to talk to FSA and get that set up. It can be basically turned around in basically a day. And if you have the need for forage, they have open CRP up for that opportunity. So if you are interested, please contact the FSA office or the ladies over there, and they'll be able to help you kind of navigate through that. And again, it's not a really long, involved process. It's a couple of forms, and we basically can turn that back to you in a day.
All right.
And I just want to let the listeners know that Chris and I will be back on air Thursday, October 7th. So I know you're going to miss us in September, but there's a lot of good stuff happening in September. So Brad booked us in October 7th, Thursday. Chris and I will be back on air to share some great information once again.
Wonderful. Dennis Fuchs, Soil and Water Conservation District. Chris Hogge, Natural Resources Conservation Service. Dennis and Chris, thank you again.
Thank you.
Thank you, Brad.
It's already 10 o'clock. We've got some news coming up.